What's up, everybody? Miguel Torres here. Day 27, new year, trying to get back in shape, lose 10 pounds, trying to get my body back to where I want it to look, change my diet, started working out again, doing kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, lifting weights, doing HIIT routines, going for jogs again, starting to move around and do cardio. Just got back in general, trying to get back in general shape. And the month is going well so far, day 27 of my month to make my personal goals a reality and my plans working to a T. I had someone ask me the other day on the comment section, very personal and very important topic for me. How do I handle defeat, or how do I handle losses? And for me, this is a huge topic because I was undefeated for a long time. I was considered one of the best fighters in the world for a very long time, pound for pound. And that was for me, a huge accomplishment that I got to achieve through working hard, not giving up, and sacrificing a lot of my personal time to become what I became. In that process, I won. I think my first run was like 30 fights. I had a run where I didn't lose for a very long time. Getting used to winning felt very nice, but people didn't realize that I wasn't not born a natural athlete. I was not born gifted with strength or with size. I didn't have this talent or skill that was naturally given to me when I was born. So when I was younger and I played sports, I'd always, get picked last, or I wasn't the guy that scored the goals or scored the touchdowns. I didn't throw the ball the fastest. I didn't run the fastest. And for me, I was on teams that won, but personally, when I competed or I did anything, I lost a lot. And whenever I got picked on in the streets or I got bullied on, I lost there too. And for me, I think surviving all those losses, I always tell people like this: if you can get up and get to the gym every day, you're a winner. You survive an ass whooping every day. You get up. Eventually, you're gonna learn how to whoop ass. Most people lose once or twice, and then they never show up again. I've met a number of people that come to the gym. They want to get in shape. They have this huge mentality of what they're gonna do. They come to work out. They work out really hard the first couple of days, and then they get sore. Then they get so sore they don't come back for a week, and they come back the week after that. Soreness passes. They work out again really hard, get sore for a week, and I try telling them, if you take your time and go easy, you get used to a steady soreness instead of being super sore from working out, from not doing anything and going 100 miles an hour. So most people like that don't have the proper, I want to say, training. They don't know, but if they were trained the right way, they will learn. So I try to train people. It's not so much losing. So when I go to a tournament with somebody, a child or an adult, a man, woman, whatever it is, we go to a tournament and somebody does well, they do horrible, they lose. I always try to give them the right word so they can not get too cocky or get too down on themselves. If someone wins a match, I tell them, listen, enjoy your win, be happy for yourself, celebrate it, but don't be ugly about it. Don't, yell in your opponent's face, and don't show off, and don't be cocky, because not everyone's gonna win all the time. And when I get people that lose, I tell them 100% like this: for me, you're already a winner because you showed up. You came to the gym, you worked out hard, you prepared for this tournament, you showed up, or you prepared for this fight, you showed up, and you didn't win, you didn't do what you thought you were gonna do, and you lost. For me, it's not a loss because I'm proud of you for being here, and I'm proud of you for even showing up and making that goal a reality, because this thing is a reality now. But now we have a unique opportunity to learn from this experience. How can we make this experience better? How can we grow from this experience? How can we learn and make ourselves better people? All my losses that I had in my life, in the beginning of my career, I didn't have many. But when I started losing, I think the first loss I had after ACL surgery. I lost an MMA fight to a guy named Ryan Ackerman. And I lost that fight, and I lost it in my hometown in Hammond. It was after a surgery, and I had two shirts made for the first time, and it was a big event, and I lost a decision. I should have won that fight, but my body wasn't ready, and I lost. Killed me inside. I cried in the shower for like about 30 minutes, so there was no more hot water. I get back after that loss, and I dig deep down and figure out, how can I not let this happen ever again? Went into like a berserker mode, started training like a monster, ended up going on another huge streak of 20 fights, something like that. Getting to the WC, becoming a world champion, changing the face of bantamweight division, and the UFC bought out the WC eventually because of me and Uriah Faber. And we were doing pretty good. And then I got used to winning so much, and I started making good money and started traveling and started being so busy doing other things. I was not investing all my time back in the training the way I used to when I was wanted to be a champion. So I lost a fight against Brian Bowles. I got knocked out. That was one of the worst experiences of my life because I literally was in front of my home crowd. I had people from all the people from back in my high school, back home in East Chicago, came to visit me in Vegas to watch that fight. And as I was walking out, I got to see all these people as I was on the way to the cage, which is very rare and very weird because usually I don't see anybody besides the cage, which makes sense why I lost. I lost. I got knocked out, and I didn't even just get knocked out. I got knocked out, and then while I was knocked out, I had a dream of being knocked out while I was already knocked out. And I was knocked out. I got punched, I think, like 7, 8 more times in the head. Wake up, and then didn't even know that I lost the fight. And I asked, how did I win? Because in my mind, I thought I won the fight. That was one of the most embarrassing. That was like the next embarrassing experience of my life. Because that was on television. But people I knew, seen that. And my fans, I feel like I let down, my fans, my family, my students. I feel like I let everybody down. And especially myself. And coming back from that was hard because, you were an invincible force in your division and all of a sudden you got stopped. Then I come back from that fight, get back on the horse, get back to training again, and get bursitis in my elbow, training with the wrong people. Got hurt, got bursitis. From having bursitis in my elbow, I got a staph infection. The last month of my training camp, I ended up having to deal with the staph infection in my elbow. Not being able to wrestle, can't hit pads, can't do a lot of things that you're supposed to do when you're training for a fight. And I ended up fighting anyways. Got cut open and choked out. I got cut from my forehead, from the top to the bottom. Horrible cut. Got choked out for the first time in my career. And that made it even worse. People were telling me I should quit. I got to give up. Just go home. Stop doing this already. So I've had my fair share of losses. And that was just in the beginning of my career when I was already like within 30, 40 fights deep. And towards the end of my career, I had to deal with injuries and personal disappointment, and there was a lot of loss. I lost a lot of things in that process, but I don't define myself by my wins. I define myself by my losses. I define myself by how I recovered myself from those losses, how I got up and I kept pushing. I got knocked out before, got up on the day of my birthday. I think I fought the 17th, got knocked out, got up. Or took an early flight, came back to Chicago, coached all my children and my adult team at a tournament. I think it was a Naga or a grappling games. And I had just got knocked out the night before. Had no business being in there, had no business coaching. But, I wanted to swallow my pride and teach my students and tell them like this. Just because I didn't have a good day last night doesn't mean you're not going to have a good day today. And if I can help you have a good day today, I'm going to be here and I'm going to support you. You were watching my fight last night even though it didn't come out the way I wanted it to come out. You still supported me and you still watched it. I'm here to help you and coach you and support you. I want it to come out well, but if it doesn't, I'm still here for you. So I always try to show that to my students, and the mentality of you lose, but you only lose if you don't gain anything from the process. From all my losses, I've always tried to learn something very valuable from them. They've always helped me to grow and to become a better person. And the biggest thing, and I always hashtag this saying, but that never give up mentality. That never give up phrase has defined me as a human being for a long time. It's been my motto and my credo, and it's what I tell people a lot of times. No one ever believed in me when I first started doing this stuff. No one ever thought I was going to have my own academy. No one ever thought I was going to be an MMA fighter, let alone a world champion, let alone one of the greatest of all time. And many people didn't support me in that mentality. But because I never gave up and I believed in myself, I was able to push through that. So for anybody wondering, how to handle loss or how to handle like failure, you're going to fail a bunch of times before you become great. No one's born knowing everything. No one's born just winning at everything. And if you were born that way, how good would that be? How much would that mean to you? For me, not knowing something, not being good at something, and trying until you figure it out and you become great at it, that makes you a great person. It's not being born with the knowledge or born with the ability. Let's say an eagle is born knowing how to fly. So I'm not going to applaud the eagle for flying. It has wings and feathers and it's born innately knowing how to fly. I'm like, if I can fly, if I figure out how to fly, I think that makes me great because I had to figure out and learn how to make the process happen without me naturally having that ability. So think about it. Losing isn't the worst thing that can happen. Not showing up is the worst thing that can happen. Not trying, not making the effort to try to be what you want to be or do what you want to do. Losing is a good thing. It's a matter of how you see it. As long as you learn from your loss, you'll be okay. As long as you grow from your loss. So in my life, whether it's good or bad. I watched Cobra Kai the other night, and Mr. Miyagi said, the man who pursues happiness is richer than the man who pursues wealth. And I thought about that, and that's pretty much how my life is. Even though I pursued wealth and I pursued riches, I'm not in the bank wealthy person. But for me, as far as my name and what I do for a living and what I do every day, I love what I do every day. I love the people that I'm around. I love that I get to help my community, help my family, and help my students. So for me, that makes me the most richest man in the world. If you're out there, you're looking to make a change, try to get back in shape, you're trying to learn the martial arts, you're trying to get a better diet plan, and you don't know how to do it, you want some help with some motivation, you can hit me up. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Send me a direct message. You can hit me up in the comment section, and I'll get back to you. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys in the mat.